Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm here with a tag. Again, I know. But this is the AuthorTube newbie tag. I thought this would be good because I am an author, but I do booktube and I can combine them. So there's 13 questions, and I saw this tag on May Bank's channel. I think that's how you say that. Sorry if I butchered your last name. I will link it down below. So the first question, how did you find out about AuthorTube? I was watching, let me find it, because it's in my subscriptions. I've heard it mentioned before by people, but it was, where is it? Third Eye Beauty had a booktube channel update video, and she mentioned an AuthorTube newbie tag, and I was like, I should go check that out. Number 2, what genres do you write in? Fantasy and LGBTQ+. Number 3, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? Third person, I think, is the point of view. Now that you're asking me, I can't remember anything. Writing tense, I'm really bad at writing tense. Like, I've had other people when I do, when I write my fan fiction, when they beta it, they're like, you gotta pick a tense. I prefer past tense, but sometimes I write in present. And the category of story is, I suppose it's YA fantasy, but it could be adult fantasy. It's just fantasy in my opinion. Number 4, are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? What's plantser? I'm a plotter. Like, I have a whole outline and bullet points, and then in between that, I make it up. What's a plantser? Oh, is that like where you plant something in chapter 1 and it comes to fruition? I guess with like, I'm thinking about my book. I don't think I've planted anybody. I usually plot it out, and then, like I said, I have the bullet points. And as long as I hit those bullet points, anything in between is fair game. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? Technically, I am self-published because I did self-publish a book of poetry through CreateSpace, which is on Amazon. But this book that I'm working on is yet to be published. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? I know there's lots of different publishing houses. I don't know many literary agents. I guess I like write, but I'm not confident that anybody will pick my book up, which is why I self-published. But Tor, I think, would be great. Who else do I like? Orbit. Random House? Penguin Random House. I know they have an imprint, I think. Is that part of, is that Tor? I don't remember. I will have to check that out. Number 7, what AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? Right now I don't have a lot. I don't know why I did that. Let me find my channel. Oh fuck, I fucked it up. Let's see. I think I just have 2 so far. There is one 24-minute video where I ramble about my book. And then I have oh god, why do you do this to me? I have another video where I did a tag about my book. So that's it so far. This will be the 3rd one. I'm not sure. So basically I'll just talk about my book and stuff. And maybe like writing. So yeah. Number 8, when did you start writing? I started writing when I was a kid. Nothing serious. Obviously, I wrote a bunch of fan fiction. And then when I was in community college, I took a poetry class, and I basically had this, like, even before that, I had this poetry phase where I was just prolific. It wasn't a poetry class, it was a creative writing class, but I was prolific writing poems, which is why I made a poetry book. I've written like little short stories, I wrote a play, it's all in that book. So, but yeah, I remember just being in high school and just pages and pages and pages of poetry. What was the first story you ever wrote? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember. Like I said, I've written lots of fan fiction. I've written some short stories. One of them was about 3 people parachuting. One of them was based on a poem, and what was the poem about? I want to say they like lost a child in the poem, and I like reimagined it from a different one. I guess like the published thing that I completed wrote was like the play. It was just a 1-act play we had to write for this creative writing thing. And another one I'm really proud of is a poem based on a Janis Joplin song. That is not in my book of poetry, but it should be. Number 10. Oh my gosh. What authors have inspired your writing the most? I'm going to say J.R.R. Tolkien, just his world building. Like, I'm reading his Book of Lost Tales 2 right now, and this is like rough drafts of what becomes some of his most famous stories. And he like Aragorn and Arwen have backstories, and their family members have backstories, and he just wrote everything, and he came up with all these languages. And then Oda Ichiro, who writes One Piece. That man is brilliant, because I'm pretty sure I've said this before. He showed you something in like volume 1, chapter 5, and then like 200 chapters later, you're like, oh my god, that one thing, that cool thing that Shanks did, saving Luffy, is now like a cool thing a fuck ton of people can do. So, and he just like, he'll say, like, he'll have a character mention something offhandedly, and then it'll show up like 400 chapters later, and you're like, oh my god, that is a planner. That is a planner, a plotter, and a plantser. I mean, this man is amazing. And I'm also inspired, like specifically for the book I'm working on, by a lot of the YA that I was not reading but hearing about, where there were like stupid love triangles and like stupid as in unnecessary love triangles and like just all this stuff. And I was like, why don't people write about like this? And I was like, well, I'll just do it. And I've sort of done it, and I just hope people want to read it. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I tend to write whenever I can find the time, but I also have, what is it? I like procrastinate, but I procrastinate because I want to get it right. And I figure, and I'm also like putting it off because it's like, well, what if nobody wants to read it? So what's the point of writing it? But I do want to write it, and I've got like some ideas that I just need to do it, basically. I should schedule writing sessions, and I should just fucking do it. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? I write everything out by hand, and then I type it up on a computer. And I usually write by hand at the table, and computer right here in front of me. And it's very weird because when I have big handwriting, so when I'm writing it out by hand, it takes like, so many pages for a chapter. It also doesn't help that I use a little notebook. And then when I go to type it up, it's like 5 pages, and I'm like, fuck. So, but that's good because then it makes me add stuff. Because I'm not always great at details, but this way it'll make me do the details. And the final one, what are you most looking forward to now that you're part of AuthorTube? I guess I'm just looking forward to like meeting other authors, maybe having people to talk about my book with, stuff like that. I'll have to actually, I don't think I follow that many booktubers who are also on AuthorTube. I think it's maybe like 2, maybe 3, but I don't know if more do that or not. So I will have to find AuthorTube people only or something. I just need more booktube / AuthorTube. Ugh, if I could speak, that'd be great. Stuff, So those are all the questions. I spoke way too fast, as per usual. What are you gonna do? So, that's it. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.